Unprecedented flooding, entire villages submerged, power grids down, and over 60 lives lost. Northern and central China are reeling from the most destructive rains in years. In this video, we uncover the full extent of the 2025 floods, what caused them, who's affected, and what lies ahead for the people caught in this growing crisis. It began as a massive low-pressure system moving across northern China, bringing torrential downpours to Beijing, Hebei, Shanxi, Jilin, and Shandong. What followed were catastrophic floods and landslides that caught millions off guard. As of August 3rd, at least 60 people have died, with the majority of fatalities reported in Beijing's mountainous northern districts, 48 in Miyun and 12 in Yanqing. In Chengde City, a deadly landslide has left 8 people missing. China's Ministry of Water Resources reported flood level warnings across 41 rivers nationwide, and more are at risk. The Miyun Reservoir, which supplies water to the capital, experienced record-breaking inflows of 6,550 cubic meters per second, over 86 million gallons per minute. Emergency discharge measures were forced into action as water levels surged dangerously. Over 80,000 residents have been evacuated so far. Entire neighborhoods were submerged. In one elderly care facility, rising waters trapped dozens. Rescuers swam through chest-deep water and used ropes to evacuate 48 people, many of them in their 80s and 90s. The scale of destruction is staggering. More than 10,000 households lost power and critical infrastructure is under strain. Crops in provinces like Shanxi have been washed away. Roads and bridges have collapsed, isolating villages. Flash flood warnings were issued across Shanxi. Beijing itself has issued its highest level flood alert, warning of over 150 millimeters of rainfall in just 6 hours, with localized totals exceeding 300 millimeters, or 12 inches. Chinese President Xi Jinping acknowledged the crisis, citing significant casualties and property losses in the worst-hit areas. Emergency response teams have been deployed to Beijing, Hebei, Jilin, and Shandong. Meanwhile, the National Development and Reform Commission has allocated 50 million yuan, roughly 7 million US dollars, to rebuild damaged roads, bridges, schools, and hospitals in Hebei province alone. However, critics say this may only be the beginning of what's needed. As always, the true scale of the disaster remains uncertain. Independent observers and rights groups have accused the Chinese regime of suppressing casualty figures and censoring flood coverage. This isn't new. China has a long history of limiting information flow during national disasters, and these floods follow a growing pattern. Record-breaking rainfalls in recent years have exposed weaknesses in China's urban flood preparedness, especially in megacities like Beijing. Forecasts from the Central Meteorological Observatory warn that heavy rain will persist for at least 3 more days across northern provinces. With saturated soil and swollen rivers, further landslides and flooding are inevitable. The immediate priority is saving lives. But long-term, China faces a harsh truth. Urban planning, flood control systems, and disaster preparedness must be overhauled to prevent these recurring tragedies. Our thoughts go out to the victims of this devastating flood. If you'd like to support relief efforts, check the links in the description below. For more updates on global climate and disaster news, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video.